Hello and welcome to another edition of TyTek Talks. I'm really pleased to introduce the beating heart of TyTek Industries, our administration manager, Donna Kramer. I'm Matt Eccles, the marketing director, and today we're going to be discussing tariffs, trade and your supply chain, and really what you need to know. And Donna's going to be here to help us do that. So Donna, hi, how you doing?
Hello, Matt.
I want to know, and I'm sure our audience do, what are tariffs and how might they impact component costs?
Well, tariffs are the fees that governments charge for bringing products into the country. They can be anything from fees that the ports charge, there are fees that they charge for upkeeping and maintenance for the actual ports themselves. They vary depending upon the product that is brought in for the country, depending upon what country it comes from, the component that it is, whether it is a raw material, a finished good, a finished component, and they are at all different.
So a magnet can be different from a sewn product?
Correct. Or a load cell, or say the magnet is combined in a finished product. Maybe it is sewn into a product, so now it is a finished component. So it's all different.
So that really makes a difference on the tariff price.
Correct.
As it hits the dock.
It does. It absolutely does. So maybe as a component, it's only like a 10% tariff. Or, maybe it's aluminum and it's a 50% tariff.
So we know what those tariffs look like while they're on the water or in the air.
Correct.
And we can communicate that to our customers.
Yes, we can communicate it to our customers because sometimes, like when it leaves its country of origin, maybe the tariff is only 10%. But by the time that it travels, 60 days by ocean and then it hits customs, maybe the rate has changed and now it's 50%. We let our customers know as soon as possible, that there's changes, and sometimes that does happen. And
that's very frustrating, but that communication piece is very important.
Yes, it is.
So how do we find that out? Is it we use a customs broker or?
Yes, we have a customs broker who keeps us informed when there are changes, and we communicate that to our customers as soon as we receive that information.
So what other developments might OEMs and even startups be aware of?
They need to be aware of all of the components that are in their products, because maybe they have multiple components in their products, so they would get charged tariffs on maybe they had aluminum in it, and maybe they had like rare earth minerals in it, or they had copper in it also. All three of those would have a different tariff rate depending upon the amount each one had in it.
Okay, and potentially what the end use is for those products.
Correct.
Okay, so is there any way we can help customers mitigate those costs?
Well, we can research and find out the best HTS code to bring a component in under.
Tell me, what's an HTS code?
The HTS code is the code that U.S. Borders and Customs Protection uses to classify the duties that are charged when your product clears customs. Every product or component that comes through customs has an HTS code.
Okay. And you sort of touched on it, but how do sourcing locations influence tariffs and timelines?
Where a product originates from, say it's China or Thailand or India or Germany, they all have different duty rate. And that depends upon governments, and it depends upon agreements that are going on, and it depends on trade associations, and it can all change at a moment's notice.
So if we have I'm not sure we do have a typical customer in this scenario because it's all very different.
Yeah, we
in terms
don't.
of material, country of origin. But would you say there is a fair understanding of what's happening in this situation with our customers? Are they on top of things, or is the communication that we offer them, do they find that helpful?
The communication that we offer our customers is very helpful for them. They find that the fact that we stay on top of it and provide that communication to them very helpful. It allows them to plan appropriately for their customers. It allows them to order product earlier or maybe push product back a little bit. It allows them to plan, so maybe they can ship product by ocean freight instead of having to air freight product in. It allows them to plan their production line and their supply chain more efficiently.
Yeah, because that's really useful in terms of their reputation, their costs, and all of those associated things that you think, I'm just going to order it and it's going to turn up, and but there's so many different factors that can get in the way.
There is. There absolutely is. Because especially when something is in the shipping phase after it has completed the production phase and it goes into the shipping phase, like if they don't plan appropriately, once something is on the ocean and it has shipped and now they need it quicker, there's no way to get it off of a ship in the middle of the ocean. So they have to plan appropriately. And if we give them enough information ahead of time, then they can plan appropriately for their needs.
Are there different times of year that are better to place orders with different countries?
Yes, there absolutely are. There are times of the year that it is very important to get an order in. So the factory's production ramps up during certain times of the year.
So Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year is one, absolutely, because everybody is trying to get stuff out of the country before Chinese New Year. So the containers book up, the space on cargo ships book up, because everybody's trying to get stuff out of the country, because people don't realize Chinese New Year is only like 16 days. But factories shut down anywhere 2 weeks before Chinese New Year, workers go home, and then they slowly drift back anywhere up to 2 weeks after Chinese New Year. So China factories are shut down for approximately an entire month. And if you don't plan appropriately, you're not getting any product, because once they come back and the factory's up and running, it's going to take another full month to get the factory completely up and running to full production rate again. And then it's going to take another 60 days for you to get your product. So you're looking at a minimum of 90 days before you get your product again.
So we're telling our customers, basically, if they're coming in from China or, say, Europe or the Dominican, what those mitigating factors might be to ensure that they get their products in time.
Correct. So we'll start telling our customers in October and November, you need to get your orders in for Chinese New Year, which happens in February and March now, so it has time to get on the water well before the rush before Chinese New Year. And it never fails. Every year somebody doesn't listen, and they are rushing at the very last minute and have to pay air freight. And air freight right before Chinese New Year is astronomical.
Yeah, absolutely. Donna, that's really helpful advice and guidance. Thank you. And if you want to find out how you can make it better, how you can navigate your way through all of these geopolitical issues that we're facing globally, come and visit us at tytekindustries.com, read our blogs, watch our videos, download our worksheets, and we'll take a deep dive into what we're doing. And we'll see you on the next edition of TyTek Talks. Thank you.